A basketball player stands at the free throw line. The crowd is a blur, their roar a deafening wave of pressure. Sweat drips into her eye. Her heart is a frantic drum against her ribs. She can feel the weight of the entire game resting on this single shot. The ball feels slick, foreign. Her breath is shallow and tight. She shoots. The ball clangs hard off the side of the rim, a harsh sound that echoes her internal chaos. She stares at her hands, feeling betrayed by her own body. An executive sits in a sleek office, but things are far from calm. Email notifications flood his monitor. His phone buzzes insistently, a nervous tremor running up his arm. Slack messages pop up, one after another. He stares at the screen, his vision blurring as the words jumble into an incomprehensible stream of pressure. He tries to breathe, but his chest feels like it's encased in concrete. He's drowning in expectations, overwhelmed, and completely frozen. He's at the top of his field, yet in this moment he's powerless. You're at the top of your game. You're driven. You're successful. But sometimes, your own mind works against you. The pressure feels crushing, the anxiety unbeatable. That feeling, that internal chaos that sabotages your biggest moments, is a brutal reality for so many of us. What if I told you the key to mastering your mind isn't another productivity hack or a grueling new strategy? What if the most powerful tool you have for taking back control is something you've been doing your entire life? Often, incorrectly? What if you could reset your entire nervous system in just 5 minutes using nothing but the air around you? The science says you can. And today, I'm not just going to tell you how. I'm going to show you. We're going to do it together. We're going to explore a simple, science-backed breathing protocol so effective, it's been shown in randomized, controlled trials to be more powerful for improving mood than even mindfulness meditation. This isn't a wellness trend. This is a biological mechanism, a direct interface with your brain and body that you can learn to operate in minutes. So, if you've ever felt that rising tide of panic or that fog of overwhelm, stay with me. Because what you're about to learn could fundamentally change the way you handle stress forever. Let's be honest. For a driven athlete like Maya, or a top-tier professional like Ben, the concept of just relaxing feels like a foreign language. Their lives are built on pushing forward. The idea that something as simple as breathing could be their secret weapon seems almost too simple to be true. Their anxiety feels like a part of their success. Maya has been told her whole life that the pre-game jitters are what it feels like to be in the zone. But lately, that zone has turned into a prison. The jitters have become tremors. The adrenaline has become pure panic, locking up her muscles and clouding her judgment at the worst possible moments. For Ben, the constant, low-grade hum of stress has been the soundtrack to his career. It's what he thought kept him sharp. But now that hum has become a deafening roar. It's wrecking his sleep, his health, and his ability to lead. He feels perpetually on edge, and his focus, once his greatest asset, is now shattered. Both Maya and Ben share a common, frustrating belief. Their anxiety is unbeatable, a side effect of their ambition. They've tried everything. Maya worked with sports psychologists and practiced visualization. Ben downloaded meditation apps and even tried a digital detox that only made him more anxious. Their experiences aren't unique. We have more tools and information about well-being than ever before, yet we're more stressed and anxious than ever. We're told to manage our stress, but we're rarely given a practical, physiological lever to pull. But here's the startling fact that changes everything. The state of your mind is completely linked to the state of your body. And the fastest, most direct way to control the state of your body is through your breath. Deliberate, structured breathing isn't just about calming down. It's a form of direct communication with the parts of your brain that regulate stress and focus. It's a biological hack, first discovered in physiology labs back in the 1930s, and now being validated by top neuroscience departments at institutions like Stanford University. Today, we're going to give Maya and Ben a new tool, a 5-minute, science-backed protocol. We're going to watch them try it for the first time, and you're going to see the profound shift that happens when they finally learn to transform their breathing to master their mindset. Section 1. The vicious cycle: why stress hijacks your mind. To really get why a breathing protocol can be so transformative, we first need to understand what's happening in our brains and bodies when we feel that crushing anxiety. What's really going on with Maya at the free throw line and Ben in his office? It all comes down to an ancient system hardwired into our biology, the autonomic nervous system. Think of it as the automatic operating system for your body. It controls all the things you don't consciously think about: your heart rate, digestion, and for the most part, your breathing. This system has two main branches that work in a delicate balance. First, there's the sympathetic nervous system. This is your fight or flight response. When your brain perceives a threat, whether it's a predator or a terrifyingly full inbox, it hits the gas. It floods your body with stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. Your heart rate and blood pressure shoot up. Blood rushes to your muscles. Your pupils dilate. And your breathing becomes fast and shallow, high up in your chest. This is your body on high alert. The second branch is the parasympathetic nervous system. This is your rest and digest system. It's the brake. When this system is dominant, your body conserves energy. Your heart rate slows, blood pressure drops, and digestion resumes. It tells your body that you're safe. In a healthy system, these two branches work in harmony. You rev up the sympathetic system to handle a challenge, and then the parasympathetic system kicks in to bring you back down to a calm baseline. But for so many of us, this system is broken. We're living in a state of chronic sympathetic activation. The threats we face, deadlines, social pressures, the 24/7 news cycle, are constant, so the gas pedal stays floored. When Maya steps up to the free throw line, her brain sees the threat of failure. Her sympathetic system goes into overdrive. Her heart pounds, her palms sweat, and her breathing becomes rapid and shallow. And here's the crucial point. That shallow breathing reinforces the panic signal. It tells her brain, yes, the threat is real. It creates a vicious feedback loop. The more she panics, the worse her breathing gets. The worse her breathing gets, the more she panics. Her fine motor skills disappear. She can't think straight. Ben is in the same loop. Each notification is a micro-threat. His body is responding as if it's being chased, even though he's sitting perfectly still. The shallow upper chest breathing he's been doing all day has kept his stress hormones sky high, making it impossible to focus. He can't think clearly because his brain is busy preparing for a survival situation. This is the hijack. Your rational mind loses control to the ancient instinctual part of your brain. And this is where the power of the breath comes in. Breathing is unique. It's one of the only functions controlled by this automatic system that we can also consciously control. You can't tell your heart to slow down. But you can, right now, decide to take a long, slow breath. By doing so, you're grabbing a manual override lever for your entire nervous system. You are sending a direct, powerful signal from your body back to your brain that says, stand down. The threat is over. It's safe to relax. This isn't a metaphor, it's physiology. And the specific way you use that lever matters a lot. Section 2. The science of the sigh your built-in reset button. So, how do we use our breath to deliberately switch on the rest and digest system? The secret is a fascinating mechanism your body already uses, often without you noticing: the sigh. Think about it. What do you do after a long, difficult task is finally over? Or after a good cry? You let out a deep, involuntary sigh. For decades, this was just seen as an expression of emotion. But neuroscientists have discovered it's much more profound. A sigh is a vital biological reset pattern. In fact, we sigh involuntarily about once every 5 minutes. These sighs serve a critical function. Your lungs are made up of millions of tiny air sacs called alveoli, where oxygen passes into your blood and carbon dioxide is removed. During normal, shallow breathing, especially when we're stressed, some of these tiny sacs can collapse. If too many alveoli collapse, it becomes harder for your body to get rid of carbon dioxide, which creates a physical feeling of anxiety. To prevent this, your brainstem automatically triggers a physiological sigh. This isn't just one deep breath. A true physiological sigh has a specific pattern: a deep inhale, followed by a second, smaller inhale, and then a long, complete exhale. That second inhale is the key. It creates the maximum possible pressure in your lungs, popping those collapsed alveoli back open, like re-inflating tiny balloons. This dramatically increases the surface area for gas exchange. Then, the long, extended exhale efficiently flushes out the built-up carbon dioxide. This rapid offloading of CO2 is one of the fastest ways to tell your brainstem to turn off the panic alarm. But the magic doesn't stop there. The pattern of the sigh, specifically the long exhale, directly stimulates a critical part of your parasympathetic nervous system, the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve, wandering from your brainstem down into your chest and abdomen, connecting to your heart and lungs. It's the main highway of the rest and digest system. When you inhale, your heart rate naturally speeds up a bit. When you exhale, it slows down. This is a direct result of the vagus nerve being stimulated. So, by deliberately making your exhale longer than your inhale, you are mechanically telling your heart to calm down. This signal travels up the vagus nerve to the brain, providing powerful biofeedback that everything is okay. This is what makes the protocol we're about to do so powerful. It isn't just some random breathing pattern. We are consciously hijacking a natural, built-in reset mechanism and deploying it on command. A groundbreaking 2023 study from Stanford University compared different 5-minute breathing exercises against 5 minutes of mindfulness meditation. One technique was cyclic sighing, the repeated practice of the physiological sigh. The results were astounding. While all groups showed improvement, the cyclic sighing group showed the greatest daily increase in positive mood and the most significant reduction in respiratory rate. In short, just 5 minutes of cyclic sighing a day was more effective at boosting mood and calming the body than 5 minutes of meditation. This is the solution we are giving to Maya and Ben. Not a vague instruction to relax, but a precise physiological tool to flip the switch from panic to calm. And now, we're going to show them, and you, exactly how to do it. Section 3. The 5-minute protocol is step-by-step guided practice. All right, this is the moment of transformation. We're going back to Maya on the court and Ben in his office. They're at their breaking points, and now they're each going to try the 5-minute cyclic sighing protocol. I want you to do this along with them. It doesn't matter where you are. This requires no equipment, just your willingness to focus on your breath for 5 minutes. Find a comfortable position, sitting or lying down. Gently close your eyes if that feels right. We're going to do this together. I will guide you, Maya and Ben, through every step. The tone becomes calm, slow, and instructive. Let's begin. First, just exhale completely through your mouth. Push all the air out. Good. Now, for our first cycle, inhale deeply through your nose. Fill your belly first, then your chest. At the very top of that breath, take another short, sharp sip of air in through your nose to completely fill your lungs. It's an inhale, then another quick inhale. Perfect. Now, exhale everything. A long, slow, complete exhale through your mouth. Let it all go. Make this exhale significantly longer than the inhales. That's one cycle. That is a physiological sigh. Let's watch Maya. She's on the bench, a towel over her head. She's skeptical, but she tries it. She exhales shakily. She takes that first deep inhale, then the second little sip of air. And then she lets it all go. A long, slow sigh. Let's watch Ben. He's pushed back from his desk, away from the screen. He feels foolish, but he follows the instruction. He empties his lungs. Inhales deep through his nose, a second little inhale, and then a full, extended release through his mouth. Now let's continue together. We'll repeat this pattern for the next few minutes. Just follow my voice. Cycle 2. Inhale through your nose, deep and full. At the top, another quick sip of air in. And a long, slow, controlled exhale out through your mouth. Feel your shoulders drop. Cycle 3. Inhale through the nose. Fill up. Second sip of air in. Max it out. And slowly release the air out through your mouth. Longer this time. Imagine you're slowly and steadily deflating a balloon. Let's check on Maya. She's on her third cycle. The roaring in her ears is starting to subside. The frantic thoughts are quieting. She's just focused on the mechanics of the breath. Inhale. Inhale again. Long, slow exhale. The physical action is overriding the mental chaos. And Ben. The tightness in his chest is loosening. He can feel his heart rate, which was a jackhammer a minute ago, begin to slow. He's simply breathing. Let's keep going. You're doing great. Cycle 4. A deep nasal inhale. Feel your ribcage expand. A second sharp inhale. And a long exhale through the mouth. Let the sound be an audible, gentle sigh. Cycle 5. Inhale through the nose. Top it off with that second sip. And exhale slowly, releasing warmth and tension. We're about halfway through. Just notice what's happening in your body. Maybe you feel a tingling in your hands or feet. That's perfectly normal. Maybe you feel a sense of heaviness in your limbs. That's a sign of your muscles relaxing, of that rest and digest system taking over. Let's continue. Cycle 6. Inhale deeply through the nose. And again, a little more air in. Now the longest, slowest exhale yet. Empty your lungs completely. With each exhale, you're stimulating your vagus nerve. You're sending a wave of calm through your entire body. Cycle 7. Inhale through the nose, smooth and easy. A quick second inhale, and release. A slow, gentle, extended exhale through the mouth. Look at Maya. Her hands, which were shaking, are now still. Her focus is no longer on the crowd. It's internal. She feels a quiet, grounded, stable presence returning. Look at Ben. His breathing is deep and rhythmic. The screen full of notifications seems distant, manageable. The frantic internal monologue is gone, replaced by a quiet clarity. He's not solving his problems. He's changing his state so that he can solve them. We're in our final minute. Let's make these last few cycles the most intentional yet. Cycle 8. Inhale deeply through your nose, the fullest breath you've taken all day. Sneak in that last sip of air. And exhale. A long, luxurious exhale. Release every last drop of tension. Cycle 9. Inhale through the nose, feel the calm. Second sip in. And exhale, feel the clarity. One final cycle. Make it your best one. Cycle 10. The deepest nasal inhale. The final top-up inhale. And the slowest, most complete exhale you can manage. Let it all go. Good. Now, let your breathing return to normal. Keep your eyes closed for another moment. Just sit here. Notice the change. The space you've created in your mind. The stillness in your body. Maya opens her eyes. The game is still happening. The pressure is still there. But her relationship to it has changed. She feels her heart beating at a strong, steady rhythm. She feels grounded. Focused. Ready. Ben opens his eyes. The office is the same. The emails are still there. But the feeling of being crushed is gone. He feels a sense of calm control. He can think. He's back in the driver's seat. In just 5 minutes, they have both performed a complete reset of their nervous systems. Slowly, when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Welcome back. Section 4. The application, when and why it works. What you, Maya, and Ben just experienced was the immediate power of physiological control. This isn't a temporary distraction. It's a fundamental state change. We've been taught to think our way out of stress, but this shows that often the most effective path is from the bottom up. You change your body to change your mind. So, how do we use this powerful tool in our lives? The answer is simple. You use it both proactively and reactively. First, proactive use. The Stanford study had participants practice for just 5 minutes, once a day. This daily practice acts like preventative medicine for your nervous system. By starting your day with this, or using it during a lunch break, you're toning your parasympathetic nervous system. You're increasing what's known as your vagal tone, which is associated with better mood, lower anxiety, and a greater ability to handle stress when it comes. You're training your nervous system to return to a calm baseline more quickly after a stressful event. For Maya, a proactive practice would be revolutionary. She could add this 5-minute protocol to her morning routine or her pre-game ritual, ensuring she walks onto the court in a state of calm focus. For Ben, a proactive practice could be a scheduled 5-minute breathing break mid-afternoon when stress levels are peaking. Instead of grabbing a third cup of coffee, which only stimulates his already overactive sympathetic system, he could reset his nervous system. But the real beauty of this tool is its reactive power. You can deploy a single physiological sigh, just 1 or 2 cycles. At any moment you feel stress starting to rise. Think about it. Your boss sends you a passive-aggressive email. You feel that flash of anger. Instead of firing back a reply, you stop. You do 1 or 2 cycles of the physiological sigh. Inhale, inhale again, long exhale. You interrupt the stress response and can now respond thoughtfully, not emotionally. You're about to walk into a nerve-wracking presentation. Just before you open the door, perform 2 or 3 cyclic sighs. You'll walk in with a steady heart and a clear mind. You're lying in bed, your mind racing. Instead of tossing and turning, you begin the cyclic sighing pattern. The long exhales break the cycle of looping thoughts and guide your body toward the state required for sleep. This technique is potent because it works on multiple levels at once. It mechanically re-inflates the lungs. It flushes out excess carbon dioxide to reduce panic. And it stimulates the vagus nerve to actively slow the heart and calm the entire system. Now, how does this compare to something like box breathing? Box breathing, inhaling for 4, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, holding for 4, is famously used by Navy SEALs and is excellent for maintaining calm alertness. Think of box breathing as cruise control for your nervous system. Cyclic sighing, however, is like hitting the brakes to rapidly slow down from high anxiety. The Stanford study found that for improving positive mood, cyclic sighing was superior, likely because its emphasis on the prolonged exhale provides more powerful stimulation to the vagus nerve. Both are valuable, but for that immediate, powerful shift from stressed to calm, the sigh is your go-to tool. The key is to start practicing. Don't wait for a full-blown panic attack. The more you use it, the more you strengthen these neural pathways. You're literally rewiring your brain for more resilience. CTA. We've just walked through the science and the practice of one of the most powerful stress reduction tools out there. If you're feeling even a fraction of the calm and clarity that I am right now, it just shows how quickly this can work. This is the kind of practical, science-backed strategy we explore here every single week. We're dedicated to giving you the tools to understand and operate your own mind and body. If you're getting value from this and you want to keep learning, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing, but it helps us keep creating this content and ensures you won't miss what's next. Go ahead, click subscribe, and let's get back to it. Conclusion. Today we saw a transformation. We saw a high-strung athlete and an overwhelmed professional, both convinced their anxiety was unbeatable. And in just 5 minutes, we saw them find a level of calm and focus they didn't think was possible. They didn't use an app or a gadget. They used a built-in biological mechanism that's been part of our human hardware for millennia. We've learned that the frantic feeling of stress isn't just in your head. It's a physiological state, a hijack of your nervous system. But we've also learned that we hold the manual override switch. The cyclic sighing protocol is a direct conversation with your body. The double inhale maximizes oxygenation. The long, slow exhale flushes out CO2, and most critically, stimulates the vagus nerve, slowing your heart and telling your brain you're safe. As a randomized controlled study from Stanford confirmed, this simple 5-minute daily practice can be more effective for improving mood and reducing physiological stress than even mindfulness meditation. The real power of this knowledge is in its application. I want to challenge you to make a commitment. For the next 7 days, practice this 5-minute protocol just once a day. That's it. 5 minutes. See for yourself what it feels like to proactively manage your stress instead of constantly reacting to it. And beyond that, remember the power of a single sigh. The next time you feel that flicker of irritation or wave of anxiety, stop. Take 1 or 2 physiological sighs. Inhale. Inhale again. And let it go with a long, slow exhale. Interrupt the pattern. Reset your system. The stories of Maya and Ben show us that this works on the 2 big battlegrounds of modern life: high-stakes performance and the chronic daily grind. The lesson is universal. You don't have to be a victim of your own stress response. You possess a tool that is free, always available, and scientifically proven to restore calm and clarity. Your breath isn't just for survival, it's a lever for steering your mind. By learning to use it consciously, you are stepping into the role of the operator of your own nervous system. You have the power to transform your breathing, and in doing so, you have the power to master your mindset. Thanks for joining me. Take a deep breath. You've earned it.